Hi, I'm Sharon Moore from Australia, and I'm really looking forward to sharing some information about sleep and breathing for the Foundation for Airway Health and the O2 Breathe-a-thon. Let me share my screen. And here we go. So, I'm the founder of a business called Wellspoken. This is titled Putting Kids' Sleep and Breathing Problems to Bed. It's very important sleep health information. Let's move to the next slide. I'm a speech pathologist, a sleep health advocate, and an author. I'm thrilled to support the O2 Breathe-a-thon because it's guiding families so their children grow up with healthy airways, get great sleep, and improve their overall health. The foundation asked me to explain the problem as I see it through my professional lens, and knowing that millions of children could be healthier and happier by improving their airway health. I could not agree more. Let's start with a question for you. Now, if there was one thing that you could do today to bring health and happiness to your children, would you do it? Just imagine if that one thing would create a different future for your children, your grandchildren, even the generations yet to be born, the way they grow and develop from day one. Would you do it? It's time to talk about sleep. Now, good sleep leads to healthy, happy kids, yes. And when good sleep and breathing is the norm, kids really grow and thrive. On the other hand, poor sleep is the opposite. And as a mum, I know there's nothing like lack of sleep or interrupted sleep to bring out the worst in children and their parents, by the way. And many sleep breathing problems are related to how kids breathe. And this in turn is related to their airways, the size, the shape, the growth, and how those airways are used. How many times have I heard parents say to me, why didn't anyone tell me this before? And as a mum, when my precious two were little, I wish someone had told me. I want to share a story about Daniel. I met 4-year-old Daniel, who had turned into a little monster because of poor sleep. And after 2 years of Daniel's irrational meltdowns, not just the terrible twos, his poor parents were at breaking point. So was the marriage. He refused to go to bed at night. He woke his parents frequently and only had 7 hours sleep. His mum, Sophie, told me, I can't be a nice mum. Not the one he deserves. I'm just too tired. Now, Sophie saw more than 23 medical specialists in Australia and the US, and it wasn't until a dentist recognised an airway breathing issue that they got progress. When I saw Daniel, we had a lot of work to do. But after 6 months of medical, dental and myofunctional treatments, that is, working with the muscles in the mouth, the face and the throat, Daniel was like a brand new kid, breathing and eating well, no longer snoring, no more tantrums, and a big growth spurt. Now, Daniel getting great sleep transformed their family life. Just ask Sophie. As a speech pathologist, I've worked with over 40,000 families over 4 decades, treating things that go wrong in the upper airway. And you may wonder what speech pathology has to do with sleep. Great question. Rather a lot. Now, firstly, I've seen how sleep problems interfere with kids' health, communication, and family happiness. And up to 40% of 4 to 10-year-olds have sleep problems. That's a lot. I started to wonder how I could even help kids and families when sleep problems, especially sleep breathing problems, were undermining everything we did in therapy. I now know these issues are treatable and avoidable. And yet 80% of kids' sleep and breathing problems are missed, dismissed, or misdiagnosed. It's a very big problem, especially when a serious issue like sleep apnea is missed. That's why I wrote Sleep Wrecked Kids, raising happy, healthy kids, one sleep at a time, because parents deserve to have this knowledge and tools right at your fingertips for treatable health issues. But when it comes to sleep, parents have some real challenges because literally millions of kids under 6 globally have sleep problems. It's connected to the way they breathe, the way their airways are developing. And of course, there are other issues as well, but today we're focusing on the breathing issues that interfere with sleep. The 3 biggest problems for parents that I've seen are: number 1, some parents notice symptoms but might think that snoring or noisy breathing and night waking are normal because no one told them they're not. And secondly, parents may recognize a problem but they're tired and busy and looking for a quick fix, like trying an extra pillow under the head or musical beds in the middle of the night. That doesn't work either. And thirdly, some parents are looking for expert help, but they have trouble. It is such a specialized area of medicine and relatively new. Many doctors simply don't know how to fix it or to help. But the worst thing is, untreated sleep and breathing problems mean children may be deprived of oxygen in their sleep or have disrupted quality of sleep. Either way, it makes them poorly behaved, unhappy, unable to focus and learn. They can even be misdiagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. There are countless bad consequences to insufficient sleep and breathing issues that develop over time. Poor immunity, kids get sick more often, stunted growth, clumsiness, delayed development in all domains, obesity, high blood pressure, cardiac issues. There's more, sadly. The saddest thing is that poor sleep and poor upper airway health are so common. For many, it has become their normal. These kids start school behind their peers. It can be really hard for them to catch up. In fact, research shows us that kids with sleep disorder breathing before the age of 5 have behaviour and learning problems at the age of 7. And it does not need to be this way. In fact, breathing problems are quite easily recognised day and night. Poor breathing can lead to changes in the shape of the face and the jawbones that go on to shape their adult face, jaws and airway, thus changing the way a child looks. And if you snore, chances are they are or they will. Now, common signs of this are mouth breathing, sticky out tongue, that's tongue fronting, drooling, sloppy, floppy muscles in the mouth, face and throat. And these kids might also have allergies with blocked nose or even reflux, just to name a couple of things. It affects growth of the airway in a good way with good habits or a bad way. And this puts a child at risk for breathing disorder during sleep because a smaller or floppier airway can close off and interfere with airflow to the lungs. But the good news, if you do something early, correct the way the muscles of the mouth, face and throat are used, kids can recover from a deficient or poor growth pattern into a typical one as long as you start early. We need solutions early, well before kids start school. Firstly, for those parents seeing symptoms but not recognising them, educational guides like Sleep Wreck Kids or the Well Slept Kids guides that are coming for parents, it will help them to understand what those symptoms mean and what to do about them. Secondly, for parents seeing problems, rather than the quick fix, there are solutions. This starts with assessment to understand the underlying problem. Finding the right expert, whether it's medical, dental, or myofunctional, that is learning how to use the muscles in the mouth, face, and throat well, that will support healthy breathing night and day. Thirdly, for those parents needing medical or dental expertise, when you, the parent, you know there's something to worry about, you don't want to hear, just wait. You don't want to hear, don't worry about it. You want to find the professionals to guide you to solutions. Now, the Airway Foundation and the AAPMD have many professionals who truly understand and can guide and help you. Now, things that might get in the way of healthy airway muscles, well, first, we know that some of Mother Nature's wisdom has been lost a few hundred years ago. So things in the past that were normal have disappeared. the very things that help the airway and the jaws grow in the most natural possible way through pressure of muscles against bones in the face and the mouth. It grows the bones. Now, problems can even start in pregnancy, where a baby's mouth movements are slowed down, or there's a premature birth, so they miss out on some of the essential preparation for breastfeeding. If breastfeeding doesn't happen for many different reasons, if purees, mush and liquid food are used for extended periods, if there's mouth breathing, if there's poor chewing, this is just to name a few. Now, a myofunctional approach can help with these issues. We can bring back Mother Nature's wisdom and use it proactively in two ways. Now, in my clinic, we use two programs. One of them is called MYO, or Myo Optimize. These are programs for little people, like a fitness program, and are a lot of fun. MYOC is Myo Correct. It's a detailed myofunctional assessment and diagnose and corrective treatments. To give you an example, myo exercises really can change jaws and teeth. So let's see 6-year-old Jenna, who may require a little bit more assistance or growth guidance from an orthodontist, but what a great start. Here's Jenna before myo. She had an open bite. Her teeth at the front didn't meet. Here's Jenna after 6 weeks of myo alone. She has a resolving open bite. Clever kid. Let's try some of these myo exercises, that the early stage control and awareness. So smiley duck clucks. I want you to get a big smile on, suction your tongue to the roof of your mouth and release with a big cluck. Try about 16 in a row. Try smiley lip pops. Big smile, lips in an M position, pressure them together and release for a loud pop. Now, we use music all the time because it helps kids learn. Here are some resistance exercises that can really help the airway, like blowing up your cheeks. We call them cheek balloons, and resist popping them. Or tongue push-ups. You can press down on the middle of the tongue with a spoon or a tongue depressor and only use your tongue muscles to try and lift it up. There are many more exercises. So what can you do right now? What are the 3 top tips to make sure your precious little people are nose breathing 24/7? You can do daily humming as well to favorite music. You can chew well with lips closed on chewy, crunchy, real food until that food is soft before swallowing. Thirdly, do daily airway fitness workouts to music, like the smiley duck clucks and the smiley lip pops. Make it fun. Kids love it. Now, there is no doubt that when kids' sleep and breathing improves, they're happy, alert, and better behaved within days. Millions of kids under 6 have sleep difficulties. Families are suffering, and they need solutions before kids start school to avoid unnecessary health and learning disasters. Now, mums, dads, guardians, you are the most extraordinary humans on the planet, after kids, of course, and you're caring for our children. In fact, Nelson Mandela said, we will be judged in the future by the difference we make in the everyday lives of our children. Having a healthy airway from a young age can save a whole lot of trouble later. Little steps can have a big impact. This is a very different way of thinking to children will grow out of it when we know that many don't. Why wait? Will you do one thing today that would bring health and happiness to your children? I am thrilled to support the O2 Breathe-a-thon, and I hope that you are too. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you and your loved ones health and happiness every day. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and it's been an absolute pleasure sharing my work with you, and I wish you well in everything. Thank you.